Hello everyone, welcome to another Digimon video. In this video we are just going to do what every other YouTuber is doing at the moment and review the most recent BT21 TCG online regionals that happened I believe a week or two ago. It's currently July 4th, I believe this was last weekend or the weekend before. I have not had a chance to really go over this, so we're going to kind of be exploring together. However, I do want to go over top 4 and then 2 lists that I specifically picked out from the top 16 deck list that I'd like to look at. For the top 4, we have Purple Hybrid, Gallantmon, or Megadramon Loop, Adventure, and then Phoenix X. So for the first list for Purple Hybrid, it is very clear-cut and stock at this point. You kind of run all the exact same things. Argomon is kind of a tech, depending on how tamer-heavy the meta is, and since Adventure is in the game, it's always going to be a tamer-heavy meta. Only running 2 Gallantmon promos and then 1 Gallantmon. Pretty fine, pretty okay. I've seen anywhere from 0 to 3. And usually about 1 or 2 BT13 Gallantmons. Unfortunately, there isn't much to talk about with this list. Purple Hybrid, I feel like, is very just solved at this point in time. You might be able to talk about the Arresterdramon Superior mode. However, it is just a pretty crazy good card for Purple Hybrid, especially if you want to just end on Velgramon and you can't do anything. Or if you end on Kaiser Leo, you don't die, you can go into the Superior mode and then raid Pierce into whatever you want without suspending. And the 2 Nidhogg just for, you know, oh, I'm going to trash it by another one of my effects, such as Demimera, Cupid, or any other. Not surprised that at 1, I feel like Purple Hybrid is still a very good deck. It might not be tier 1 because it's not as oppressive as Megadramon or Sakuyamon, but it is still high tier 2 and right at the precipice of being one of the best decks in the format. Next, we have second place Growlmon Loop, which all of these decks are almost exactly the same. This actually does not have Megadramon, mainly because it seems like they're switching into a very just super consistent, tons of memory banking system. So we have 4 Wisdom Training, 4 Purple Memory Boost, 2 Red Memory Boost, and then 3 Glaive Memory Boost. So 1,000,000 memory boosts. It seems like this list is just based on going into a Growlmon, swinging into security, popping yourself, gaining 2 memory, playing out a Rush Gill, going to Gilmon X Antibody, and just doing it over and over again. I actually think the Arresterdramon Superior mode is really good with the Gilmon engine, just because sometimes your Growlmon is not going to die. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Sometimes you're going to hit a rookie in security. Sometimes you're not going to have the self-popping option, which this guy actually does not run, which makes completely sense. I actually forgot the name of it. I believe it's the one that has the image of Purple Gallantmon and then Megadramon's face. Costs 1, you pop your own thing, which is what I personally run. But the War Growlmon is probably just to play more Gilmons, so maybe you don't have the Growlmon X Antibody. You can go into Growlmon and then War Growlmon, play a Gilmon, play a Searcher, get that Growl X if you need be. No tamers, of course. Megadramon and any Gilmon engine doesn't really need any tamers, so it's pretty stock there. And then 4 Gravity Crushes. I feel like 4 is a little, it's kind of a lot, I will admit. I run 3 personally, and I see it constantly. I almost always have 2 in a hand. But there are games where 1 or 2 hits security, and it is kind of unfortunate with no security effect. 2 BT13 Gallantmon and 2 Promo Gallantmon is pretty fine and dandy, since the list is just focusing on Growlmon Rush. So, third place, we actually do have an Adventure list, which is currently my main deck, so I might be a little overcritical. Luckily, Adventure is kind of just, as long as you play most of the same stuff, you will be fine. This is a more non-warp centric build, as you can see, with no warp rookies, no Angewomon. It looks like it's just trying to be as highly aggressive, and looks like a carbon copy of Huang Zero's list, who won the regional before this, or the regional 2 before this, whichever one. They are running 1 Wargreymon Ace and then 3 Metal Garurumon Ace. I personally believe that Wargreymon Ace is the better card. However, in a Megadramon and Growlmon X on deletion meta, Metal Garurumon does need to be at least at 2. 4 of Courage United, pretty stock. Rookies is pretty stock. Biomon, Tintomon, and Palmon are pretty good. Gomamon is very meta-centric, or very based on the meta. So with everyone gaining memory with Gilmon Engine, it's kind of needed. Tentomon stops Wargrowmon, the new Wargrowmon level 5, to warping into Megadramon for reduced cost, as well as it stops all the Sakuya shenanigans such as Scramble and Plug-in. And then Gomamon is there, I assume, for memory boosts, and then obviously Gilmon on deletions. The one of Gatomon, Gatomon is a really bad card. I assume most people just run it for a security bomb, which is fine, I guess. I don't really like it. 4 Bird and 3 Togi. Most people would agree that all turns is actually better than your turns. However, I guess he's just trying to be overly aggressive with Mega Kabuteru and the Melga, which I get, so I won't know nothing crazy there. No Reboot Greymon, which I'm kind of disappointed to see. I think Taunt and Reboot is very, very valuable, but he's not really on that build, so it makes sense. 3 Mega Kabuteru, 2 Zudomon, 2 Lily, and 2 Metal Gray, and 2 Skull Greymon. Pretty normal. The only really change that you could make is maybe get rid of Mega Kabu, switch to Angelomon, but then you're switching to a Warp build, so you want to change your rookies a bit, etc., etc. I actually think Zudomon is a lot better than people think he is. I think he was graded as one of the worst level 5s whenever the set came out, whenever the starter decks came out. But he actually puts in some crazy work. So, Lilymon's obviously the best level 5 in Adventure. There is no discussion. Digivolve, it just ignores protection. Every deck has protection nowadays, so you just have to have it. Raid Retail is a very good kind of off removal. You don't really expect Raid Retail. However, it is very good just for those big restanders. Gallantmon included. I've already talked about the level 6s, so we'll just go past there. For the tamer count, it's pretty normal. So how you want to set up your tamers in Adventure is basically you have the green tamers and you have the yellow tamers, right? If you have 2 of the rare green tamers, usually you want 3 of the non-rare green tamers, and vice versa for yellow. So yellow being Matt Ishida and TK. If you have 3 of his rare, then you want 2 of the normal Sora and Kari. It's kind of just how statistics work. It's kind of just what you want and to get the best color combination possible as fast as possible. He's running 2 blockers, so he would run 3 memory gain of the opposite green color. And then he's running 3 rush tamers, so he would run 2 of the opposite yellow tamer. 2 tie, sec tie is fine. I personally run 3. However, everyone 1 to 3 is perfectly fine. 4 is a kind of a lot, especially since you're not always getting his win attacking value. However, towards the late game, a lot of your game-winning kills is just going to be flipping tie, playing a 7. If you have another 7, or if you have another tie, flipping the tie again, playing the 7, you know, triggering the first 5, letting 1 attack Alliance, 2 checks, and then you can just hard play another 5 for the game win. Pretty good there, pretty standard. Adventure is pretty, I wouldn't say it's solved, but it's pretty close. Most people know how to build at this point. It just is meta relevance, or meta dependent rather. Next one is Phoenix. I'm not going to really talk about it because it's the exact same. It's just Growlmon Rush. And by the way, Garuda and Phoenix are broken cards. Not really, they're just really good. 4 Cool Boy is pretty standard whenever you want to search so many X antibody pieces and you're going into multiple X antibodies, almost every single Evo line. 1 Gravity Crush, I would make an argument for 2 or 3. 3 Offense Training, 1 Red Memory Boost, 2 Scramble. One of the things I never understand with people's lists is why is it 3 Offense Training and 1 Boost? I always am interested in knowing the thought process of not just running 4 Offense Training, or not just running 2 and 2, or not just running, 4 boosts, 0 training, whatever the case may be. I'm personally I don't really like seeing 1-ofs. It kind of annoys me, which is why I don't really play blue that often, because they have a million limited cards. But I can kind of see, I'm genuinely interested in what he thinks. And he's running the actual Floodgate one, which is surprising. I think that's kind of cool. Not much to talk about. And then the 1 Omni-X to kill. So those are our top 4 for the regionals. I do have 2 lists, 2, count them 2, to talk about. that interested me. The first one is our 11th place 6-2 Zephagamon, which I believe is here. Which the interesting thing about this one is it's green gacha, and then Zephagamon. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I don't know how the fuck this got through, like the first 3 rounds. To be completely honest, maybe people didn't know how to play it. Maybe people forgot Zephagamon Ace and Imperial and Paladin Mode Ace were cards. What's funny is that with which tamer is it? This tamer, the starter deck Shoto, and Chaosmon, it is a green Omni per game. So when any of your Digimon attack your opponent's Digimon, which Chaosmon allows himself to attack unsuspended Digimon, by suspending this tamer, you may change the attack target to another one of your opponent's Digimon, or you can just switch it to the player. So you go into Chaosmon, you unsuspend, you attack your opponent's Digimon, you suspend Shoto to just switch the attack from the Digimon to the player for game, which I think is wacky as fuck, but it's funny. So crazy consistency pieces, we're running 11. If you want to count Analog Boy, you're running 13. But yeah, it's just green gacha, and then obviously one Pomumon for the pesky play-by-effect decks. Now the next one I'm going to talk about, the next list I'm going to talk about, is this Rural Knights list. Right here. 9th place. Obviously, it's the best list in the game. I've never seen a better Royal Knights list. No, I'm just playing. This is actually a guy who comes to my locals. Super chill guy. Got his top 16 finish going to Nats. Wait, didn't he get something higher? 9th place, so he is going to Nats. So if you guys want a good Royal Knights list, I definitely, I'm gonna flex the guy. I know this guy. I'm famous. He's famous. I'm famous. So, but that's about it for this video, guys. So I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed just the quick 12-minute video of the most recent regionals. I'm going to try to get back into the habit of making content for Digimon. No one wants to ever grind with me or jam matches, so it's hard for me to put out actual, playing. But maybe I'll make some DCGO videos or some more regional videos. So I will catch you guys in the next one.